Dear friend, energy is a concept that encompasses all of existence. From the vast universe to the tiniest cell in the human body, everything we see, touch, think, or feel is a different form of energy. In physics, energy is defined as the ability to do work. It cannot be created or destroyed naturally, only transformed from one form to another. In philosophy, energy is the movement of all things, the source of change and evolution. In spirituality, energy is not only the motion of matter, but also the vibration of consciousness, connecting humans to the deeper layers of the universe. There are many different types of energy, but they all share one common trait. They are always in motion. Imagine a flowing river. Water never stops moving. If it gets blocked, it forms a swamp or evaporates. Energy behaves similarly. When blocked, it can turn negative, causing fatigue, stress, or illness. But when it flows properly, it brings creativity and balance. Energy exists in many forms. Physically, we have kinetic, thermal, electrical, and light energy. These maintain life and operate the world. Biologically, energy comes from food, air, and sleep, sustaining our body's functions. Mentally, energy is willpower, thought, and creativity. Emotions are also a form of energy. Anger can explode like fire. Love can radiate like light. Fear can bind us in darkness. Spiritually, energy is the vibration of the soul, a subtle life force called by many names in different cultures. Prana in Hinduism, Chi in Taoism, or Kundalini. The latent energy within humans. But if energy always flows, why are some people vibrant, creative, and insightful, while others feel tired, dull, and stagnant? The answer lies in how we use and transform energy. A powerful energy source wasted or misused becomes a burden. On the other hand, a small amount of energy used wisely can bring about great changes. That is why understanding the nature of energy is the first step to mastering your life. No one escapes the laws of energy transformation, but those who learn to use it can change their destiny. If you feel exhausted, it might be because your energy is leaking without your awareness. If you feel stuck, perhaps your energy is blocked. And if you want to rise to a higher level in life, you need to learn to transform energy in the right direction. This is not just theory. It is a natural law, a secret known by masters from ancient times. Energy transformation is not merely about control or redirection of inner flow. It can reach subtle levels where energy not only sustains life, but becomes a tool to expand awareness and unlock new dimensions of intellect and soul. These are the higher levels of energy transformation, where a person not only uses energy for themselves, but can also influence their surroundings and the universe's operation. The first level is refining energy from gross to subtle. Most people only recognize crude energy forms, like physical strength, emotions, and desires. But these can be elevated to more refined states. A person consumes food not just to survive, but to nourish the intellect. Someone manages emotions not just to control behavior, but to achieve clarity and balance. Preserving sexual energy is not about repression, but transforming it into creative and awakening power. This is refinement, turning raw energy into a stronger, more sustainable, higher form. The next level is energy unification, when all the energies within a person are directed towards a single goal. A person can have a lot of energy, but disperse it into thousands of small things, leading to them feeling tired, even though they have not done anything significant. But when a person knows how to concentrate energy, they can create a huge power. Just like a light beam can become a laser when properly focused. Geniuses, masters, and people who have achieved extraordinary things in history all have this in common. They do not let their energy leak into meaningless things, but focus it all on the path they pursue. This is not only a discipline but also an art, a rare ability that very few people truly master. The highest level of energy transformation is the union with the universe. When a person is no longer just in control of his own energy, but begins to realize the connection between his personal energy and the universal flow. This is the state that enlightened beings have reached, where they no longer need to try to control things, because they themselves have become part of the natural operation. When a person reaches this level, they are no longer bound by ordinary human needs, no longer governed by lower desires, but instead operate based on intuition, clarity, and an invisible source of power that seems to never run out. But how to reach these levels? There is no general formula, because each person is a separate energy system. But the core principles are still purification, training in concentration, training in connection. A person begins by observing themselves, recognizing where their energy is being wasted, the habits that are weakening them, the thoughts that are dragging them down. Then they learn to transform each part, from the physical to the mental, from the emotional to the spiritual. When this transformation reaches a deep enough level, it is no longer just a personal change, but begins to spread outwards, affecting those around them, creating a larger impact on the world. And that is when people truly master their own energy, no longer being swept away by the chaotic flow of life, but becoming the controller of that flow, turning it into a tool for building, for creating, for awakening. This is not something far-fetched or reserved for saints, but a path that anyone can walk if they truly understand the power of energy transformation. In each person, energy exists in many different forms. There are forms that need to be preserved. There are forms that need to be transformed to create development. One of the most important human skills is the ability to transform energy from simple activities to more meaningful things, from passive enjoyment to active creation, from momentary pleasures to lasting values. Have you ever felt like you have too much time to surf social media, watch movies, or entertain yourself but can't focus on completing an important task? Have you ever felt excited about small things but exhausted when faced with a bigger goal? That is a sign of an energy imbalance. We often get caught up in activities that drain energy without bringing real value, while important things are ignored because they require more effort. Transforming energy in life is the process of redirecting this flow, turning wasted energy into the driving force for development. One of the most important ways to transform energy is to take advantage of hobbies and relaxing moments to develop yourself. Think about what you usually do in your free time. It could be listening to music, watching movies, reading books, playing sports, or simply enjoying a cup of coffee in the morning. These activities are not wrong, but if they are just passive enjoyment, energy will gradually be consumed without creating long-term value. Try to exploit them in a different way, a way that helps you enjoy while developing skills or expanding your thinking. If you like reading, try writing down good ideas, applying them to your life, or discussing them with others to broaden your perspective. If you like traveling, instead of just going for the sake of it, learn about the culture and history of the place you visit, record memorable experiences, or explore skills such as photography, writing to preserve your journey in your own way. If you enjoy relaxation, learn about meditation, how to optimize sleep, or practice habits that help maintain stable energy. When you turn your hobbies into opportunities to learn and improve yourself, you will not only enjoy, but also build lasting value, making your life richer and more meaningful. Transforming energy also involves taking advantage of small moments in life to serve larger goals. One person may spend hours scrolling through their phone without realizing that that time could be used to learn, improve their thinking, or practice a certain skill. Another person may feel tired and sluggish all day, without knowing that the cause lies in their lack of energy regeneration, lack of knowing how to use free time effectively. Transforming your energy and life is not about giving up the things you love, but about finding ways to use them in a more beneficial way. If you are passionate about something, make it part of your personal development. If you feel like you are wasting too much time, ask yourself, how can I turn this time into something more meaningful? Once you start thinking this way, you will realize that everything in life can be transformed, from small joys to big challenges, from leisure to work that brings real value. Start by observing yourself, finding the sources of energy that are being wasted, the moments that can be better utilized. Challenge yourself a little bit every day. Instead of just enjoying, create. Instead of just consuming, contribute. Instead of letting energy flow away uselessly, turn it into a tool to build your life the way you want. Because energy never disappears, it only changes form. And how you transform it will determine who you become in this life. After you know how to transform the sources of energy in life, now we will understand and practice transforming the most powerful source of human energy, sexual energy. This energy is not only associated with the reproductive instinct, but also affects mental and emotional health and intellectual and spiritual development. In many ancient cultures, sexual energy was not just a biological desire, but a subtle flow that could be harnessed, preserved, and transformed into higher forms of energy. If not understood and controlled, it can become an obsession, a drain that drains the body and the will. But if channeled, it can become a driving force for creativity, success, and enlightenment. Most people experience sexual energy in an instinctive way. They feel desire, seek satisfaction, and then may feel empty or tired. This is no coincidence. When sexual energy is dissipated without being properly directed, it will cause imbalance in the body, reduce concentration, and drain vitality. In ancient philosophical and spiritual systems, especially Tantra, Taoism, and Yoga, sexual energy is not something to be released at will, but a resource that can be purified and enhanced. When controlled, people can turn this energy into creative power, wisdom, and even spiritual awakening. But transforming sexual energy does not mean suppressing it. Suppression only leads to inhibition, stress, and psychological disorders. On the contrary, transforming it means understanding its nature, directing it consciously. Instead of being controlled by desire, we can use it as a powerful source of motivation. When a person does not consume sexual energy unconsciously, they will feel healthier, have a clearer mind, and have a higher ability to concentrate. Many geniuses in history, from scientists, artists, to spiritual masters, have understood and applied this principle. Nikola Tesla once said that he gave up physical desires to devote all his energy to scientific research, believing that controlling desires helps the mind develop more strongly. Leonardo da Vinci and Isaac Newton were also people who had high control over their sexual energy, putting creativity and knowledge above instinctive desires. In many spiritual traditions, enlightened masters have emphasized that controlling and transforming sexual energy not only helps people achieve wisdom, but is also one of the keys to unlocking higher states of consciousness. One of the most important methods to transform sexual energy is through awareness and control of breathing. In ancient systems of practice, breathing is the bridge between the body and the spirit, a means to elevate and transform energy. When a person learns to breathe correctly, they can retain and direct sexual energy instead of letting it go to waste. This not only helps maintain health, but also helps increase creativity, concentration, and clarity of thought. Besides controlling the breath, transformation also lies in how people use sexual energy in relationships. A relationship based on pure desire is often fleeting and easily depleted. But when sexual energy is combined with emotional connection, understanding, and mutual appreciation, it becomes a nurturing force that helps both grow. In Taoism, this is called harmonizing yin and yang energies, a combination that is not only physical, but also mental and spiritual. Couples who understand how to exchange energy properly will not only maintain long-term attraction, but also improve their physical and mental health. Another important thing in transforming sexual energy is to avoid overuse and uncontrolled consumption. For men, loss of sexual energy is often accompanied by a decline in physical strength, mental fatigue, and loss of motivation. Taoism calls this dispersing the qi, that is, allowing the qi to be consumed excessively, leading to an imbalance. Many ancient practices advise men to know how to control the release of energy, retain it, and transform it into spiritual power. For women, sexual energy is closely related to hormones and emotions. If not directed properly, it can become a source of anxiety and depression, but when harnessed properly, it helps the body become younger and more powerful. Transforming sexual energy also involves applying it to creativity. Many artists, scientists, and athletes have used this energy to increase concentration, spark ideas, and improve work performance. A clear example is professional boxers and athletes. They often limit the consumption of sexual energy before important matches to maintain strength and alertness. This is not superstition, but a scientific principle. When sexual energy is not consumed, the body will retain more testosterone, increasing strength, concentration, and fighting spirit. If a person lets sexual energy dominate them unconsciously, they will be controlled by it, becoming a slave to their desires. But if they learn to direct it, they can turn it into a power to achieve greater things. Sexual energy is not something to be eliminated, nor is it something to be released unconsciously, but a powerful flow that can lead people to the pinnacle of creativity, spiritual enlightenment, and the power to master themselves. If the energy that transforms in life helps you maintain balance and make the most of your daily resources, if sexual energy helps you activate your creative power and enhance your inner vitality, if intellectual energy helps you think sharply, explore knowledge, and create new values, then spiritual energy is the highest level, the core fire that determines your will, belief, and inner strength in the face of all challenges. This is the type of energy that makes extraordinary people, those who do not succumb to adversity, those who can stand up after hundreds of falls. But like any other form of energy, if not used and transformed properly, it can be eroded, leading to breakdown, disorientation, and despair. There are people who, despite their weak physical condition and unfavorable circumstances, still move forward and achieve unimaginable things. That is because they have a strong source of mental energy. On the contrary, there are also people who seem to have all the favorable conditions, but still feel empty, still feel useless, and lose their motivation to live. The difference lies in how they transform and nurture their mental energy. If a person only relies on temporary inspiration and only acts when motivated, their mental energy is very fragile and can easily collapse when facing difficulties. But if a person knows how to practice and accumulate, then no matter how challenging life is, they can still be steadfast. Transforming mental energy is not about deluding yourself with empty words of encouragement. It is a practical process, starting with understanding what is weakening you and what can strengthen you. One of the most important factors is discipline, the ability to do what is necessary, even when you don't feel like it. Interest is an unstable form of energy that can change according to mood and circumstances. But discipline is a sustainable form of energy that helps people keep going, even when everything seems to be against them. People with strong mental energy are not those who always feel motivated, but those who can act even when they don't want to, because they know that mental energy does not come from fleeting emotions, but from persistent practice. But discipline does not mean being rigid or imposing yourself into meaningless frameworks. A person with strong mental energy is not a machine, but someone who understands himself, knows when to persevere and when to change direction. It is flexibility in thinking, the ability to adapt to circumstances without losing one's essence. When a person reaches this level, they are no longer controlled by negative emotions, no longer swayed by circumstances, but can use everything as part of the journey of growth. Even failures become a source of energy for them to move forward. Even difficulties become lessons for them to grow. Transforming mental energy is not just about becoming stronger, but also about reaching a higher state of consciousness. When a person is no longer controlled by fear, no longer bound by petty desires, they begin to see things more clearly. They no longer live just to survive, but live to truly understand, to truly feel, to truly create. That is when mental energy not only helps them stand firm in life, but also helps them reach beyond their own limits. This is the pinnacle of transformation, when a person is no longer just an individual governed by circumstances, but becomes a person who can shape his own destiny. Understanding energy is one thing, but if not applied in practice, each knowledge will only stop at theory. Energy transformation is not an abstract concept, but a practical process that can be practiced every day. A person can read hundreds of books on energy, on self-development, but if they do not practice, they will still be caught in the same old cycles, exhausted and out of control. So how do you actually apply energy transformation to your life? The first step is to observe yourself, to recognize the forms of energy that dominate you every day. Ask yourself, what are you spending your energy on? Do you often feel drained without knowing why? Are you spending too much time on things that are not really important? Without observation, you cannot change. Take some time each day to listen to yourself, monitor your energy levels in the morning, noon, and evening, and identify changes. A simple way is to use a scale of 1 to 10 to assess your physical, mental, and emotional energy levels. If you notice that your energy is constantly decreasing without any clear reason, you may be unconsciously letting it leak into things that are not worth it. The next step is to fine-tune your energy flow. Learn how to minimize the leaks and increase the positive energy sources. There are things that seem harmless, but silently drain your energy every day, such as negative conversations, meaningless content on social media, and bad habits that don't add value. For example, 10 minutes of mindless social media browsing can turn into hours without you even realizing it. Procrastination not only wastes your time, but also stalls your creative energy. Toxic relationships can drain your spirit without you even realizing it. Ask yourself, are these things really necessary? Can you replace them with something more useful? Sometimes, just a small change like reduce your online time. Set up a no interference zone. Learn to say no to unnecessary things, or you can keep a lot of energy for more important things. An important method of energy transformation is breath control. Masters of Qigong, yoga, and meditation all understand that the way a person breathes can directly affect their mental and physical state. When you are stressed, your breathing is often rapid, shallow, and intermittent, causing your energy to be scattered. But when you regulate your breathing to be slow, deep, and controlled, you can retain and transform your energy instead of letting it dissipate uselessly. Practice a simple exercise. Inhale for 4 seconds. Hold for 7 seconds. Exhale slowly for 8 seconds. Repeat 5 to 10 times to feel the change. Another method is box breathing, in which you inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, exhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds. These techniques not only help you maintain stable energy, but also increase concentration and control over emotions. In addition to breathing, meditation is also an effective method to purify and transform energy. Meditation is not just sitting still with your eyes closed, but a process that helps the mind become clear, helping you connect to deeper levels of consciousness. When a person meditates properly, they are no longer caught up in chaotic thoughts, no longer dominated by negative energy, but can feel the stillness and inner strength. If you are just starting out, practice according to the following schedule. 5 minutes a day. Just focus on breathing 10 minutes. Add visualization. Imagine a flow of energy running through the body 20 minutes or more. Focus on observing energy, feeling each form of energy operating within yourself. It's not how long you meditate that matters, but how consistent you are every day. In addition to internal methods, there are ways to transform your energy through daily actions. A healthy meal can bring positive energy, while a poor diet can weaken you. Focus on naturally energizing foods like greens, nuts, and clean proteins, and stay away from processed foods and refined sugars. A regular exercise routine can help you maintain your strength, while laziness can reduce the quality of your inner energy. Even the way you communicate affects your energy. Positive conversations can energize, while negative words can slowly drain you. And finally, remember that transforming your energy is a continuous journey. No one is perfect at controlling their energy all the time. But the important thing is that you are aware of it. You know how to adjust when necessary, and you are constantly learning to improve this ability. An energy master is not someone who is never affected, but someone who knows how to regenerate and use energy intelligently. If you practice these things consistently, Triat Tam promises, after just 1 week, you will notice a clear difference in your energy level. Transforming energy not only helps a person become healthier, more creative, or in control of their life, but if taken far enough, it can take people to a completely different realm, where energy is no longer something that needs to be controlled, but becomes a natural part of their own operation. At the highest level of energy transformation, people not only master themselves, but can also influence their surroundings, even influencing others with their mere presence. Masters throughout history, from Zen masters, Taoists, to great scientists, all have one thing in common. They do not let their energy be distracted by trivial things. They focus entirely on a single path. They do not let external circumstances disturb their minds. They use everything as part of their training. They not only master their thoughts, emotions, and desires, but can also transform the deepest sources of energy within, turning them into the driving force to break out of the usual human limitations. At this level, the transformation of energy is no longer a conscious process, but a natural state. A person no longer struggles to control desire, because desire has been refined into a higher form. They no longer struggle to maintain discipline, because discipline has become their nature. They are no longer bound by fear or insecurity, because they have understood how energy works and have complete control over it. This is the state that enlightened beings have reached, where they are no longer victims of energy, but become its controllers at will. A person who wants to transform energy to the highest level cannot stop at practicing some external methods, but must really go deep inside, exploring the deepest layers of consciousness and being. They must look straight at their weaknesses, face their fears, their limitations, the things they have always avoided. Only by daring to face them can they transform. Only by daring to let go of the old can they enter a completely new state. And finally, at the highest level, a person no longer thinks only of himself. but his energy becomes part of the universal flow. He is no longer bound by small goals, but his every action has a greater meaning. He no longer lives just to achieve something, but lives to be in harmony with the whole operation of nature. This is a destination that anyone can reach, if they truly understand and practice the transformation of energy thoroughly. Because energy does not just maintain existence, but is the fire that guides people to overcome all limits. Only those who truly master it can escape the bondage of instinct, break free from the usual framework, and reach the state of absolute freedom, where will, intelligence, and awareness merge into one.